Today we answered the most asked questions about Iceland and Icelanders on Google. Let's get started. Why is Iceland called Iceland? The answer lies in the story of a Viking named Hrafn, whom we may remember from the TV series Viking, who was one of the first to visit the island in the 9th century. Hrafn was the second Viking to arrive in Iceland. He had heard about the island from the Swedish Viking Svavarsson. He was called Ravens Floki because, according to Landnam of the Book of Settlement, he brought 3 ravens with him on the journey to help him find Iceland. He climbed one of the mountains, and when he looked north he saw nothing but a fjord covered with ice and snow. Floki then decided to call the new land Iceland, or the Land of Ice. In fact, despite its name, only 11% of Iceland is covered with ice. Why Iceland has no military? Iceland has no standing army. The most obvious reason is that the population of Iceland is too small to have a capable military. Plus, it is much too expensive. However, there is a special forces unit called Viking Squad, with naval artillery and air defense radar stations deployed all over the country. But what happens if someone attacks Iceland? Although Iceland does not have a military, it is the only country that has been a member of NATO since 1949. And if something happens, NATO members are obliged to support each other. This was probably one of the reasons why Iceland decided to join the treaty. Why was beer illegal in Iceland? Beer was illegal in Iceland between 1915 and 1989, which may sound incredible. The ban started in 1915 after the population voted to outlaw all alcohol in a referendum. Wine was abolished in 1922, spirits in 1935, but beer was still banned in Iceland until end of 80s. The beer ban was finally abolished on March 1, 1989. Every year on March 1st, Iceland celebrates Beer Day. Why Icelandic names end with dutir, or son? Iceland is quite unique in how it names its sons and daughters. The naming system in Iceland is based on an old Scandinavian system used. For example, when a couple has children, the custom is to add son or daughter to the end of the name father. In this system, if your Icelandic father's name is Magnus and you are Magnus' son, your surname will be Magnusson. This tells people that you are Magnus' son. If you are the daughter of Magnus, your surname will be Magnusdóttir. So you are the daughter of Magnus. It may sound interesting, but parents in Iceland cannot simply name their children whatever they wish. A naming committee in Iceland determines whether given names are suitable for integration into the country's language and culture. Arni, Baldi, or Ingun are all options. But as a girl in Iceland, you cannot be called Harriet. Why Iceland has so many volcanoes? There are approximately 30 active volcanoes in Iceland. The number of volcanoes in total in Iceland reaches over 130 when counting those that are dormant and extinct. Iceland's volcanic activities is due to the country's unique geolocation, sitting directly on the mid-Atlantic ridge that separates the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates. These tectonic plates are detached one from another, allowing magma to fill the space that is created. This results in the creation of one or more volcanic systems that, once filled up, are ready to release pressure and produce a volcanic eruption. Why are there 13 Santas in Iceland? Iceland, like many countries, mostly celebrates Christmas with delicious foods and gifts. But unlike most countries with a single Santa character, Icelandic children are lucky enough to be visited by the 13 Yule lads. Yule lads originate from Icelandic folklore. They are 13 brothers from a family of trolls who live in the mountains of Iceland and visit children every December. Every night from December 12th, one of Yule lads visits every child's home and puts a toy or a piece of candy in the shoes the kids leave on their windowsills. As long as you behave well that day. Because if you misbehave that day, Santas will fill your shoes with rotting potatoes. Icelandic parents have to have 13 presents prepared for their children 13 days before Christmas. No last-minute shopping. Today we answered some of the most asked questions about Iceland and Icelander on Google. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe for more.